Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today in this video guys I'm going to do a quick unboxing and review of this Celestron Power Seeker 127EQ. This comes with an equatorial mount with a large mirror lens of 127mm. So this is a cheap and budget telescope guys which you can buy, which is cheaper than your any lens based telescope with a large aperture of 127mm. So this is capable of capturing enough light to capture the faintest object into the sky. In addition to this guys, I will be doing a quick assembly of this Celestron telescope and also some of the improvements that I would like to do on this Celestron Power Seeker 127EQ telescope so as to be able to align this telescope quickly and to find the objects in the night sky more easily. So guys, ensure that you watch this video till the end so that you do not miss out on any important information or instructions that I have to share. Before we move further guys, if you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications for all my new videos. Let's get started. So guys, before we can start with the unboxing, as you can see the Celestron telescope comes in this large brown cardboard box with the Celestron branding on the top. In the item description you can say it is a Power Seekers series 127 equatorial mount. The total gross weight is 12.9 kg, around 13 kgs with the box. The net weight of the telescope and all its equipment is around 10.2 kg. Some of the barcode information and other handling instructions. So as you can see guys, this is a heavy box, so you need to ensure that you handle this carefully as there are some delicate components inside which you can break or damage while handling. So ensure that before you unbox it is placed on a nice flat surface so that you do not accidentally damage the telescope inside. Let's open the box and see the contents inside. So guys, when you remove the top cardboard cover, you can see there is another colored box inside with the printed information and instructions. As you can see on the top of the box guys, you have the Celestron branding. It says it is Power Seeker 127 equatorial telescope with 120mm reflector lens. So it is a mirror based telescope guys, it is not a lens based telescope, which is why it is much cheaper, but it has equivalent power because of its large aperture. It can capture huge light so that you can even watch the faintest object in the night sky. So this package includes the German Equatorial Mount, 2 eyepieces, 3x Barlow lens, and it comes with a bonus astronomy software for download so as to locate and find out the objects in the night sky. So guys, it comes with the serial number and the activation code so that you can use this Celestron software along with your Celestron 127 equatorial telescope. Let's see on the sides what it has. On the side guys, as you can see, there is nothing more other than the branding and the type of the telescope on this side. So let's turn around and see what is there on the other side. On this side as well guys, you can see there is a telescope assembled and standing. This is how it would look like once you fully assemble the telescope, and it also says the branding and that name of the telescope, nothing more. Let's turn that around. On this side as well guys, the same branding and telescope, some of the barcode informations and serial numbers. If you want you can look at it. So let's go on the other side as well. On the other side as well guys, you have same branding and the name of the telescope with some of the specifications. On the specification it says it is 120mm aperture reflector type telescope. It has 1000mm focal length. It comes with a German equatorial mount, fully coated glass optics, 20mm 50x erect image eyepiece. Second eyepiece is 4mm 250x 1.25 inch eyepiece. Barlow lens of 3x with 1.25 inch eyepiece. It increases the power of the 20mm eyepiece to 150x and the smaller 4mm eyepiece to 750x once used in combination with the eyepieces. It has a finder scope of 5x24, which means 5mm aperture and 24mm focal length. It comes with a pre-assembled aluminum tripod and the accessory tray. It has a bonus astronomy software to download. So this is what is there on the side of the box. Now let us remove the contents from inside and see one by one each of the component and then assemble as well. So guys, let's review each equipment one by one, and also guys, with the review of the equipment I will also be telling you the improvements that I'm going to do with each of the components so as to be able to use your telescope more easily and conveniently. So first thing that you see in the box is your telescope mount that it comes with. So this is the fashion in which your telescope mount comes. This is your vertical rotation. As you can see, this is the place where you have vertical rotation. This is the knob where you can rotate and lock your vertical rotation. This is your horizontal rotation of the telescope. Here you can see in the front you have the key so as to fix your horizontal location once you have located the object. Here you can see this is the angle rotation, guys. Here you do not have the key. Here you will have to put the key before you will be able to use your angular rotation and fix. So let's try and assemble this quickly and see how does it look like. So first thing that you need to do is to loosen the knob for the vertical rotation so as to be able to rotate the knob like this. This is the position, guys, you want your telescope mount to look like. This rod should be pointing on to the same direction of this base plate which goes on the top of your telescope tripod. So guys, this is the direction in which your rod should face, and this is the top side, guys, where your mounting rings for the telescope will go. So now let's tighten the knob in this location so that it does not move. So this is the rod, guys, in which you will be placing your counterweight. On the bottom side you can see there is a pin or the screw which goes at the bottom so as to protect your counterweight to slide down accidentally and damage the equipment or maybe hurt yourself. So ensure that every time you put the counterweight, ensure that this is placed back so as to prevent it from slipping. So as you can see, guys, here you have the angular rotation as well. Here you have the marking on the top which will tell you where your angle rotation looks like and at which degree it is. Initially it will be pointing on to 0, and then you can using the knob that you will be installing in a minute to be able to control the angular rotation. So as I told you, guys, this is your vertical rotation, this is your horizontal rotation, this is your angle. So now let's talk about some of the improvements that I have done, guys. So at the back side, guys, you can see there is a cover that it comes with. I have drilled a hole to put a screw on the back so as to be able to use this magnetic compass to be placed on the back side. So whenever you are in the field and you do not know which way is the north, so this is the water-based floating magnetic compass. Once it is attached on the back side of this mount, guys, will be able to tell you in which direction that north is pointing. So guys, it is one of the tips so as to correctly align your telescope. This shaft should always be pointing towards the north and the angle should be towards the north pole star. So this angle should be adjusted in a way that it points on to the north pole star, and this rod should be pointing towards the north, not the magnetic north specifically, but towards the pole star. So this magnetic compass will help you point roughly towards the north, and then you can fine tune this telescope so as to point it towards the north. Once I assemble, guys, I will tell you exactly on how does it look like. Now let's install the angle knob at the back. You can see there is a hole here on the back, and this is the screw that it comes with. So there is a holding rod on the back so as to give you an ease on how to tighten the screw onto the back side. So you can see I am tightening it up just by rotating. So as you can see, now it is correctly mounted. As here, I don't know if you can see, guys, there is a plate which that knob pushes so as to lift this on to the upside like this, so that your angular rotation is controlled with this one. So as and when you tighten it more, it will keep lifting your front side. As you can see, it is moving. You can see it is moving now, but with the counterweight it is more difficult, so you will have more tension on this knob. So as you can see, guys, I have tightened it up a little bit so that it moved from 0 degree to around 20 degrees, guys, by tightening the screw. So similarly, you can unscrew this to lower the angular position of this mount. So this is how you control this Celestron top mount. Next thing, guys, that you need to do is to mount the rings that it comes with. So these are the 2 rings, guys, that it comes along with. So in between these guys you will be installing the telescope. These are the rings that will go on this top side of the mounting base that you have. And to mount it, guys, you have this screw and the nut that it comes with. So ensure that you unscrew this first quickly. so that you have exposed screw at the bottom, and similarly you will do it for the second one. So the difference guys in these two is there is a mounting plate on the top guys. This is to mount any of the accessories that you want. So ensure that guys this ring is at the back side of the telescope and this ring is facing on the front side of the telescope, so that you can mount the accessories onto your telescope without interfering with the eyepiece which is there on your telescope. Let's quickly mount it. My telescope would normally be facing upside where you have this smoother nut on the side. So I will be installing first the one without the mounting bracket. So you will have to put it in the hole that you have on the mounting plate on the top. Align the hole with the screw, and this square will go inside this one so as to fix it on this place. So you can see guys, this is how you put it, and then you screw from the bottom from here and tighten the nut so that it does not move. Now let's do the same from the other side. So this one is the back side facing to my telescope, so I will be putting this like this with the mounting bracket on the top. I will align a screw and then again tighten this up quickly. So I have correctly now installed the mounting bracket for the telescope. So guys, next thing that I'm going to do is to install the fine-tuning handles that it comes with. So there are two fine-tuning handles that it comes with. One is longer and one is shorter. So the longer one is used to control the vertical movement, and shorter is used to control the horizontal movement. Obviously you can swap as per your convenience, but this is the thumb of rule that you want to follow. That is how I used to follow. I will be using the shorter handle for the horizontal movement and longer handle for the vertical movement. So guys, the longer handle will go in the direction where you have this knob. This is the face in which you would be using to install the handle. This is the mount on which you will be installing the handle. You can see and observe there is a small cut and there is a notch here, which I will be aligning it with the screw that you have so as to tighten it properly and so that it does not slip. So this is how you want to do it. So ensure that you have the notch aligned with the screw and then gently slide in, unscrew and gently slide in the handle knob and then tighten the screw up, so that guys you can fine tune the vertical angular movement in a very slow motion so as to compensate for the smaller movement that you're going to do by the hand. Next thing that you want to install is the horizontal movement. That you can see here, you have only one place that you can install the vertical movement handle. So here also guys, you will have a notch on the side. This is where it is, and then I'm going to align in the same way the screw onto this handle. First unscrew this and align with the notch that it has on the sides along with the screw and slide the handle in. As you can see, I slide it correctly and then tighten the screw. So this is how you install the horizontal movement and the vertical movement fine-tuning handles. Next thing that guys I will do is to install the compass. Here I have already told I have put a hole manually and put a screw inside. On the side of my magnetic compass there is a hole where I can put in the screw. So I will put in the screw guys like this, and then I will turn this to tighten this up. So this is how it looks like guys. So when I am pointing towards the north guys, it will definitely tell me if this rod is pointing towards the north or not, and then I can move it around so as to be able to find the north and point it roughly towards the north before I can start with the aligning process. So this is one of the improvement that I have done onto the mount. Now the last thing that you need to do with the mount is to put the counterweight, but this I am going to do it after I put it onto the tripod, but I will show you guys how does it look like. So first thing that you need to do is to unscrew this bottom screw that it came with, and there is a washer at the bottom, so ensure that both are out. And then next thing that you need to do on the counterweight guys, you have a knob. Just lighten the knob so that you unscrew here on this hole so that you do not have the screw pointing or inserted inside. So once you tighten the knob, the screw will hold on to this rod at a place where you want to balance. So ensure that you unscrew this properly so that there is no tension while inserting this rod. Next thing that you need to do is insert the rod, and then all you need to do is tighten this up so that it does not fall off. And then the last thing that, like I told you guys, you need to put back this screw so that accidentally if it slides down, it will not damage your equipment or hurt yourself. You don't have to tighten it too much, so that it just need to stay at its place so that it holds the counterweight whenever it slides down. So use of this counterweight, guys, is to balance your telescope so that it does not have a weight, and you can move this telescope smoothly across any angle. So this is what is the use of this counterweight onto the telescope. Now let's keep the mount aside. So this is how, guys, your mount is to be prepared. I have completely assembled the mount. This is ready to be placed onto the tripod. So before we place this mount onto the tripod, guys, let's prepare the telescope as well. Let's keep this aside. So guys, before we go with the preparation of the telescope, this is your main telescope itself, guys, that comes in the box. As you can see on the top, this is your eyepiece at which you place your eyepieces. Then focus your object using these knobs that are there on the sides. And these are the screws to hold your eyepiece at a place so that it does not fall off. And there is a dust cover which is there on the top, which you will be removing while placing an eyepiece. So this is how your telescope is. On the front side, guys, you have the dust cover, and then there is a small cap as well. So if you are viewing any bright object, guys, you can use only this small opening so as to reduce the light which is captured by this telescope. So this is what it is used for. And then you can remove the dust cover so as to see inside. So this is how it looks like, guys, whenever you open the telescope. Inside this, guys, you will have the mirror placed at the back side, very back side of this telescope tube that it comes with. So this is how it looks like. This is a mirror based telescope. This is a reflector based telescope, so it does not have a lens, but it has a curved mirror that you have so as to act as a lens and focus it onto the top side mirror. Here you also have a top side mirror which will ultimately reflect the light back to your eyepiece here, and then you will be seeing the object. Since it has a large aperture of 127 mm, guys, so you will be capturing a lot of light and huge resolution, guys, so you will be able to see even the faintest object in the night sky. So this is how your telescope works. As you know, guys, it has 127 mm mirror lens on the back side here, and then it has a focal length of around 1000 mm. So it has a huge focal length, guys, and a huge mirror, so it will has a great magnifying power along with the great light capturing power. So you will have a high resolution with the brighter objects. On the back side, guys, you can see I have put a magnet on the back side. So this, guys, I am going to use to put my phone on the back. So I'll be using the Starry Night or any other astronomy software, and I will put my phone onto the back side. So whenever I am finding the object, I will be able to view in the phone in which direction my telescope is pointing, and then roughly will be able to align my telescope to point to that object, and using the fine-tuning handles on the mounting bracket, I will be able to move the telescope and place the object into the view of this telescope. So this is one of the nice addition that I have done in addition to your basic setup that it comes with. On the back side, guys, also you can see there are some more screws. These are the screws which are used to align the mirror inside. So if your mirror is at angle and not at right position, so you can collimate your telescope using this fine-tuning screws. By default it comes pre-tuned, so you might not need to tune your telescope, but if by chance your telescope is out of tune, you can use this. But guys, you need another equipment called collimator, which is used to collimate your telescope. This is another topic for another video, guys. I will not be going in depth. So this is how your main telescopes looks like. The body is made out of metal, and the front and the back side bracket is also made out of metal, guys. So it is really made out of good quality. Now let us prepare this telescope more. Now guys, let's put some of the accessories of the telescope that it comes with. As you can see guys, here are the 2 screws that is there on the top, which is used to place the finder scope which came along with it. So here, as you can see guys, this is your finder scope bracket that it comes with. It has a base like this. You have perforated base here. That is what it will go onto these screws. On the top side you have the holes and the 3 screws on the top, in which you will be placing the finder scope that it comes with. So this is the finder scope. This is how it looks like. You have the top and the back cover. This is the top cover of 5 mm. So this is 5 mm focal length. This is the 5 mm aperture finding scope, and it has a length of around 24 mm. So this is your eyepiece for the finder scope. This is a wide angle viewer guys, so as to locate your night sky object with a wider view. And once it is centered from this view, you can fine tune your telescope to align it into the center to the view of your main eyepiece. So this is very useful accessory guys that it came along with, so as to be able to locate the objects into the night sky. Now let us install this object. So first thing that you need to do is to use your finder scope. Ensure that this is pointing onto the front side of the telescope, and then unscrew the screws that came on pre-tightened on this mount. Remove the screw totally out to be able to place this finder scope mount onto your telescope. So this is how you place it. You can move forward or backward depending upon the convenience. I like to push it all to the way to the forward, so as to make your life easier to put the screws like this. And then the second one, you don't need to tighten it too much. It will hold the mounting bracket at its place. This is a lightweight plastic bracket that it comes with. So next thing that you need to do is put the finder scope. So to put the finder scope, first you need to unscrew this holding screws which is there onto the mount, so that to have the space. And then you need to slide from the front to the back. You remove the eyepiece bracket first, and then you can slide it in, and then you can tighten this up. These 3 screws guys are there to align your finder scope as well. So guys, ensure that first you align your finder scope to the view, and then you can fine tune your alignment with your main telescope. So guys, whenever you align these 2 together to the same object onto the sky, you will ensure that next time whenever you move this telescope onto the next object, whatever you see in the viewfinder is what your main telescope is pointing. So alignment of your main viewfinder to the telescope is an important process that you need to do guys. So next thing that guys I'm going to tell you is how to install the eyepiece. First thing that you need to do is to remove the top dust cover. As you can see, there are 2 screws that it comes with, so as to hold your eyepiece. Here you need to loosen this up. As you can see guys, there are 2 eyepieces that it came with. One is your 4 mm eyepiece, which gives you 250x resolution, and the next eyepiece that it comes with is your 20 mm, which is a wider view, which gives you only 50x resolution. So guys, although it gives larger magnification guys, but it is very difficult to locate the object using this eyepiece. It is easier to do with the wider eyepiece. First, if you want to zoom in, first use this eyepiece to find out the object, and then replace the eyepiece with this higher magnification so as to zoom in. So this is the process guys you need to follow, otherwise it will be very difficult to find out the object and center the object using the higher magnification, because even the smaller movement is a larger deviation with the higher magnification lens. Definitely use the higher aperture smaller magnification eyepiece first, and then the smaller aperture higher magnification eyepiece second. So let's install the eyepiece. So this is the eyepiece, how it looks like. On the top side you have the lens, and then you have the bottom side is what it goes inside. Here you can see guys, you can lift up the rubber lid on the side so as to remove or filter out any lights which is there in your surrounding, so that whenever your eye is there on the top side of this lens, you will not be interfered with any ambient light which is present at around the side of your telescope. So all you need to do is to slide this into the hole. Ensure that you are losing the screws enough so as to slide this eyepiece all to the way down, and then you can screw this up. So this is the same process, guys, you can follow to insert the higher magnification eyepiece. So once you locate the object using this viewfinder and the eyepiece, and then you can swap this with the higher magnification whenever you want to use this. So this is how you prepare your telescope. Also, guys, along with this, it comes with the 3x Barlow. As you can see, it increases the magnification for each of the eyepiece to around 3 times. So to use this Barlow, guys, as you can see on the top, it has a dust cover. At the bottom it has a covering as well. So remove the covering and remove the dust cover, and then remove the eyepiece, and then first put your Barlow lens inside, and then tighten it up on the bottom side. And then you can see there is another screw on the top. You can unscrew this and then insert your main eyepiece onto the top of the Barlow, so that you have your Barlow first and then your eyepiece, so that to magnify the resolution of your eyepiece to 3 times. So this is how, guys, you use the Barlow onto your telescope. So this is it, guys. This is how you prepare your telescope, and it is ready to be mounted onto the top of the base mount. Now let's put the base mount on top of the tripod first, and then we will put the telescope on top of it. So guys, when you get your tripod, it is folded just like this. You need to first expand the tripod and place it onto the surface and place it like this. As you can see, guys, I have done another modification onto my tripod top side base. You can see I have put a bubble leveler, so as to ensure that whenever I place the tripod onto a surface, my tripod is level. If your tripod is not leveled and your bubble is not at the center, as you can see, guys, if my bubble is not to the center and it is pointing on to one of the direction, I can level this up using the bracket that comes along with this one. Here you can see, guys, there is a extension that you can do using this leveler, so that you have the extending legs that comes out of your telescope tripod, so as to be able to mount it. So let's say I have to move in one direction a little bit, and then I can screw this up to tighten this up at one place, so that my tripod is leveled properly. So for now I am it on a flat surface, so I would not need this. So I will push that back inside and then tighten this up, and then I will place the tripod onto the base. So you can see, guys, my tripod is properly leveled and it is not moving or vibrating. So this is how you want your tripod to be, at full length stretched, and then you can place your mounting bracket onto the top. Before we can put the mounting bracket, guys, you need to put the tray or to the bottom. So this is the place, guys. Before we can move further on to the installation of the mounting base of the telescope, guys, you need to install the mounting tray. So guys, the mounting tray looks like this. It comes with several holes so as to hold the different types of eyepieces that you want, or you want to put any small equipments or any small accessories that you use along with the telescope. You can put it on this mounting tray. This mounting tray is a plastic tray, as you can see, with the holes, and there is a screw at the bottom, you can see, which will go into the center here. So guys, and this also duals the role onto the sturdiness of your telescope, so that it keeps this holding plates at the bottom straight, so that your telescope tripod does not wobble a lot. So let's put the mounting tray bracket onto the base. All you need to do is align this screw at the bottom onto the center and screw it down like this, and then you can just move this around like this, and then it will tighten this up very quickly. Ensure that it is screwed all to the way to the bottom, so that it is not loosed and it keeps your tripod bracket straight. So this is how you do, and you put your accessory trays. So guys, you can use this accessory tray to put any of your accessories that you want to use for your night viewing session, like this. So this is how you use your mounting tray onto your telescope tripod base. Now let's put the tripod base onto the top. As you know, guys, we have pre-assembled this tripod base. So this is the part where it goes onto the center of this tripod base. Here you have the screw that is used to tighten this up onto the bottom of this telescope mounting base plates. All you need to do is align this to the hole like this, right, and then tighten this up from the bottom like this, so as to be able to hold it at its place. So as you can see, guys, this is as of now aligned, But ensure that guys, whenever you do this, you would have already removed the counterweight onto this shaft, so as to be easily able to align this onto the top and tighten this up. You can tighten this up a little bit more so that it is sturdy at its place. So next thing that you're going to do guys is to put the counterweight onto this. So to put the counterweight guys, as I told you, you need to unscrew this bottom screw and then slide in your counterweight like this, and then place back the holding screw at the bottom so as to prevent it from sliding and falling down by mistake. So this is how you do it. So guys, this is how it looks like when you put the mounting bracket onto the top of your telescope tripod. So this is the place guys where your telescope will go. So now let's put the telescope as well. So you can see guys, there are screws on the sides which you can use. You can put both the screws on the same side guys, depending upon the orientation that you have put on this bracket. I like to put it on the different side so that, you know, by mistake it does not fall and it has a better alignment and balance of the weight as well. Now let's unscrew this and open this up like this, and then for the second one as well. As you can see guys, the screws does not fall off, so don't worry, it will not come out, it will stay in the hole on the top, so you can easily open this up. So this is the place where your screw goes. As you can see guys, here at the bottom there is a soft material which is already put onto the circle onto the top so as to prevent any scratch or damage to the telescope tube that you would put in. So this is one of the nice thing that you can see and observe on the telescope mount that you have. So as you can see guys, on the first side I have the accessory top, so this will be on the back side of the telescope and my telescope will be facing on towards that side. So I will open this up and again put the telescope. My telescope face is there here, and then I will be putting the telescope face away from me, so like this, so that your eyepiece is on to the farther side of the telescope. So next thing that you need to do is close the bracket and tighten this up. So guys, as you can see, there will be some gap into the between the first bracket and the second bracket. This is because your telescope is larger than the circumference of this mounting bracket, but that is okay guys. This is how it ensures that your telescope is tight enough and put it into the place. I will do the second one as well like this, and this is how you put your telescope onto the mounting bracket. So guys, this is how it looks like once you assemble the telescope. Next thing we need to do is to balance the telescope. As you can see guys, my counterweight is moving further so that my telescope does not stay at one place. So my counterweight seems to not balance this telescope weight properly. So next thing we need to do is to move the counterweight so that whenever I move the telescope, it stays at its own place. So that is super important guys, so as to be able to easily fix and find your object and track properly without having to worry about if your telescope is going to move because of the counterweight. So counterweight should properly nullify the weight of your telescope. That you can do by either moving the counterweight top and bottom, or also you can also move your telescope front and back so as to properly align the weight. That is what I'm going to do guys. I will loosen the counterweight. You can see it still does not balance. Since it is falling back guys, I will be putting the counterweight all to the way to the bottom and then tightening this up. You can see guys, it is still back heavy guys, so I need to move the telescope little front. So I will loosen the screw onto the top and I will try to move the telescope little bit further. So I have moved the telescope little bit further guys, and tightening this up again. So as you can see guys, my telescope is no longer moving. It will stay at its place wherever I keep. So this is how your telescope should be balanced. So guys, next thing that you need to do is to point the shaft towards the North Pole star. So first thing that you need to know if it is pointing towards the north. So using this magnetic compass that I have already installed onto the back, so you will be able to point it roughly towards the north. For this demo purpose guys, I am going to assume this is pointing towards the north. Next thing that you need to align is the angle. So shaft on the front side should be pointing towards the pole star. So you can use this knob to move the angle and change the angle until this shaft is pointing towards the pole star guys. So this is the step guys where I have done another improvement so as to be able to know if my shaft is pointing towards the north or not. This can be done using one of the accessories. So guys, this is the accessory that I am going to use. As you know guys, there is no North Pole viewfinder here installed onto this shaft, which normally comes with an advanced equatorial mount where you can look through here and then center your North Pole star on towards the viewfinder, which is installed directly in this shaft. For this telescope guys, this is not present guys, so I'm going to use this mounting bracket for the laser that I am going to use to find out the North Pole star. So next thing that you need to do is to tighten this up so that it points towards the top, and this is center like this. And I'm going to put this one onto the front side. Then I'm going to put this bracket onto the bottom side of this rod and then ensure this top side is in front of this, and I will put a laser onto the top. So whenever I turn on the laser, I will be able to align the laser to the North Pole star. So guys, I'm going to loosen this up quickly, and then I'm going to put it like this and tighten this up. So the bottom side is holding on to the rod, and the top side guys, you can see it is more or less in front of your base plate of your central rod. So next thing that I'm going to do is put the laser. So guys, this is the green laser that I'm going to use here to put it here onto the front side, so that whenever I adjust the angle, my green laser in the night light will be able to tell me if my shaft is pointing towards the North Pole star or not. So this is very simple. Just loosen this up and then put the laser here and then tighten this up. So your laser, whenever you put, should align and should be in straight line with your shaft. So let's check that. From the side you can see it is more or less aligned. Let's change the angle a little bit so that it looks more or less straight, and then tighten this up. So this process is super important guys, because unless you point your shaft towards the North Pole star, your tracking will be inaccurate and you will soon lose the object which you have found out in your telescope due to the rotation of the earth. So guys, whenever you align the object using the viewfinder and align the object into your telescope, all you need to do is adjust the vertical movement using the vertical fine tuner, so that your telescope always is in line with the movement of the earth rotation. With only one knob you can track the object and compensate for the angular rotation of the earth. So this is it guys. This is the unboxing and assembly of the telescope along with the improvements I have suggested here and implemented onto this telescope. So guys, I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, please do not forget to hit that like button. If you have any questions or comment, please leave them in the comment section below. I will try and answer as soon as possible. If you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications for all my new videos. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching, and clear skies.